Arsenal's decision to spend £30 million to sign goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale from relegated Sheffield United in the summer of 2021 was at first criticised, but he quickly proved his doubters wrong, rising up to the challenge of playing for Arsenal. Last season, Ramsdale was part of a side that came agonisingly close to beating Man City to the title, and whilst they ultimately fell short, he proved that he's now among the best keepers in the world. And at 25 years of age, he still has so much development left in him, and yet 2 years after signing him, Arsenal are looking to sign a new goalkeeper in Brentford's David Raya. So why all of a sudden do Arsenal want a new goalkeeper? Well, first of all, there was a slight regression in Ramsdale's performances last season. His save percentage fell from 73.4% in his debut season at Arsenal to 70.6% last season, which put him in 11th position in the league, whilst Raya's 77.7% put him at number 1. The Spaniard is also arguably a better ball-playing goalkeeper than Ramsdale, making 541 more passes out from the back last season. Raya actually played futsal as an outfield player alongside goalkeeping in his youth, so has a clear advantage over Ramsdale in that department. He was even praised by Klopp in the past for his ball-playing abilities, saying the goalkeeper could have the shirt with the number 10. So whilst Ramsdale is also a very capable keeper with the ball at his feet, if Arteta is looking to take his team to another level and play even more expansive football, it makes sense to sign a better ball-playing goalkeeper who's also arguably a better shot-stopper. Competition is key to Arteta's project at Arsenal. With Man City currently the best team in the world, Arsenal must keep evolving and can't afford to stand still. The Spaniard wants to avoid complacency within his squad and so wants to bring in new players even if the current ones are performing highly. For example, he brought in Urian Timber earlier this summer to provide competition to Ben White, despite the Englishman arguably being the best right-back in the league last season. Leandro Trossard also came in January to provide competition to Gabriel Martinelli, and even Kai Havertz can be seen as competition to Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard and Gabriel Jesus. Matt Turner is obviously still at the club, and whilst he's a decent goalkeeper, he's never been a threat to Ramsdale's number 1 spot. Raya, on the other hand, will provide serious competition to Ramsdale, and many would argue that he's actually the better keeper. Arsenal will also be playing Champions League football and so can't afford to play a weaker team in Europe anymore like they did in the Europa League, whilst it's also not possible to play your strongest 11 twice a week, so Raya and Ramsdale could alternate. So the question is, if Raya was to join Arsenal, where does this leave Aaron Ramsdale? The fact is that Arsenal wanted Raya before they even signed Ramsdale back in 2021, but Brentford's £30 million asking price was seen as too high at the time, so Ramsdale was brought in as the second choice and actually turned out to be a very good one. He was an upgrade on Leno at the time, but now that Raya has proven himself further in the Premier League, as well as the fact that Arsenal's owners now seem to be showing real ambition in the transfer market, the transfer fee Brentford will demand will less likely be an issue. And Raya himself has also expressed his desire to play European football, and Arsenal can offer him the highest level of it as they will be playing Champions League football this season. Add to that, Arsenal's current goalkeeping coach actually convinced Raya to sign for Brentford, so is clearly a massive fan of him already. All this suggests that Ramsdale's days at Arsenal could be numbered should Raya join. The same way he was initially competition to Leno and eventually took his place, forcing Leno out the club, Raya will also provide competition to Ramsdale and eventually try to take his place, which may force Ramsdale out the club. And whilst having 2 high-level goalkeepers compete for the number 1 spot seems like a good idea on paper, it never really works out. A similar situation happened at Man United a few seasons ago, where Dean Henderson and De Gea were competing for the number 1 spot. All it did was upset both keepers, and eventually Manchester United had to choose between Henderson and De Gea. They chose De Gea, and that pretty much signalled the end of Dean Henderson's career at Manchester United, as he was loaned to Nottingham Forest last summer. Having said that, there's no reason why after last season Ramsdale should shy away from competition and not fight for his place for at least the upcoming season. But Arsenal fans, what do you think? If you had to choose between Raya and Ramsdale as your number 1 keeper, who would you choose? Let us know in the comments section, and as always, please like and subscribe for loads more content.